guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I have purchased or been sent lately. I did do a little bit of damage with book buying because Target had one of their buy two get one free sales and I was trying to restrain myself, but I ended up buying 9 books. And I don't need to explain myself. And then I also have a couple used books that I found, and let's just get into it. I'm gonna kind of just jump around here. Before we get into the haul, this video is being sponsored by Book of the Month. So Book of the Month is an online book service where they have a curated selection of new hardcover fiction every month that you can choose from. And they also just recently launched a podcast called Virtual Book Tour. The podcast is hosted by Brianna Goodman and Gerard McFarlane, who are 2 members of the Book of the Month editorial team. And it's recorded in front of a live studio audience at Book of the Month headquarters in New York. And in the podcast, they talk about the books that they love, new books they're reading, and interview some of the Book of the Month authors. And you can listen to it right now on Spotify or Apple. So in July, Book of the Month has 5 different book selections, and I picked 2 of them that I'm so excited to read. The first one is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, which is a romance book about a woman who is a bodyguard to a famous actor. So Jack is a famous actor who has a stalker, but his mom has recently gotten sick, so he's going back to his family ranch in Texas, and so he hires a bodyguard, but he doesn't want his family to know that he has a stalker, so he hires this woman who works for protective services to be his bodyguard, but he asks her to pretend to be his girlfriend so his family doesn't know the whole situation. So it's the bodyguard romance, fake dating. It sounds so cute. It really reminds me of this K-drama that I love called Strong Girl Bong Soon, which is a similar premise where this girl becomes a bodyguard to this like rich businessman. I just feel like this is gonna be really cute. And then the other book that I picked is a thriller called You're Invited by Amanda Giatisa. And this one, the blurb for this says, "What could be worse than your ex-boyfriend marrying your childhood best friend? Getting accused of her murder." So it's about a girl who's invited to her best friend's wedding. They've been out of touch for a really long time, and when she turns up in Sri Lanka at the wedding, she discovers why her best friend has not talked to her in a long time, and that's because the groom is her ex-boyfriend. Over the course of the week of wedding celebrations, the bride is found dead, and all of the evidence is pointing to our main character. I feel like it's gonna be messy and dramatic, and I'm totally here for it. Those were my 2 Book of the Month picks for July. If you use the link in my description and the code Riley, you can get your first box for just $9.99. And once again, thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. I got 3 books by T. Kingfisher, who is an author that I am obsessed with at the moment. She's becoming a new favorite author of mine, and I'm trying to make my way through her entire backlist. So I bought 3 more of her books. We have Paladin's Grace, which is a fantasy romance. It takes place in the same world as Sword Heart, which you guys know I'm obsessed with. It's like my favorite book of the year. And this is the first book in a trilogy that takes place in that same world, following the Paladins, who are kind of like assassins that have been given powers by God, is sort of how I came to understand it in Sword Heart. But we're following Stephen, who is one of those paladins, and it says he encounters a fugitive named Grace in an alley and witnesses an assassination attempt gone wrong. Now the pair must navigate a web of treachery beset on all sides by spies and poisoners, while a cryptic killer stalks one step behind. I'm very excited. If it's anything like Sword Heart, I know I'm gonna love it. And I loved that world, so I'm very excited to explore more of it. I'm also curious to see if there's any like character crossovers in here, because there were a bunch of characters from Sword Heart that I loved and I would like to see more of. Then we have The Raven and the Reindeer, which I believe is a Snow Queen retelling. It says Gerda's friend is stolen away by the mysterious Snow Queen, and it's up to Gerda to find him. Her journey will take her through a dangerous land of snow and witchcraft, accompanied only by a bandit and a talking raven. Very exciting. So we have that one. And then the other one I got is Bryony and Roses, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. We have those 3 T. Kingfisher books. Very excited to read all of them. Okay, another author that I got multiple books from is Sarah Kate. I got Give Me More, which is the 3rd book in her Salacious Players Club series. And I'm loving the series. Books 1 and 2 5 stars. This is a new favorite romance series, and I've seen everyone loving this and saying that it's the best. It's an MMF romance following Drake, Hunter, and Isabel. Hunter and Isabel are a married couple, and Drake is Hunter's best friend. And it says, Hunter suddenly asks me to sleep with his wife while he watches. I'll do anything for my best friend, but this is one request I should say no to. But Isabel is the woman of my dreams. But it's not only Isabel I want. I'm very, very excited for this. And then I also got Gravity. It says, it's been 2 years since my sister and her boyfriend were killed in a plane crash. The last person I expected to show up on my doorstep was his father, Alistair Wilde. Yet he came with an offer I'd be an idiot to pass up. Be his son's girlfriend for 3 months, live with the two of them in a remote house, and the $1 million is mine. But it's a love triangle because she ends up not only wanting Nash, the son, but she wants the dad too. So those are the 2 Sarah Kate books that I got. Then we have An Unexpected Peril by Deanna Raybourn. This is the 6th, I think it's the 6th book in the Veronica Speedwell series, which you guys know is my favorite series ever. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm very excited. This is a series of Victorian murder mysteries following Veronica and Stoker, and it is like just the best, like, fun, cozy, slow burn romance through the course of the whole series. I'm obsessed with it. Veronica and Stoker are 2 of my favorite characters ever. So I'm very excited to see where this book takes them in their adventures. Okay, next we have a book that was sent to me from a PR company, and that is Tempt Me by K.A. Tucker. So this is a billionaire office romance. It's the first book in the Wolf Hotel series, which I've been hearing so many people raving about lately. But I think that this is an old series that K.A. Tucker had published under a pen name, but she's recently republished it under her K.A. Tucker name. So it's about a girl whose boyfriend, I think, is cheating on her. So she breaks up with him, runs away to Alaska, and applies for a job at this hotel. She becomes the owner's personal assistant. And that's all I know about it. I've heard that it is very addicting, and I love K.A. Tucker, so I'm very interested to see what her writing is like in this, because I think that this is like more steamy than her other books. Then we have Lovely Bad Things by Trisha Wolfe. This is my Patreon book club book for July, and this is a serial killer romance. It's about a girl who is trying to hunt down this killer, but she's not having a lot of luck, so she turns to another serial killer who she was responsible for putting behind bars. She asked him to help her track down this killer. Sounds amazing. Trisha Wolfe is like the best at writing serial killer heroes, so I'm very excited to see how this is, and I cannot wait to read it with my patrons. Another serial killer book is Notes on an Execution by Dania Kukafka, and this is a book that I've been seeing a lot of people raving about. It says that it's the story of a serial killer on death row, told primarily through the eyes of the women in his life, which just sounds really, really cool. I love serial killer books, if you haven't already caught on to that. So I'm excited to read this, and like I said, so many people have been loving it and saying that it's like their favorite book of the year, which intrigues me. The next one we have is Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. This is a romance book that is about this woman whose husband dies. Her husband's best friend has always been like really mean to her and like didn't like her. They were never close, but after her husband dies, he sort of kind of starts to be in her life more. But it turns out he's actually been in love with her for a long time, but she was always off limits to him because she was married to his best friend. But now that his best friend died, his feelings are like coming to the surface. And yeah, I don't know, it sounds really, really good. I've heard amazing things about it. The quotes that I've seen from this book are like epic soulmates level. The quotes make my heart hurt. So I'm excited to see if they live up to the quotes that I've seen, because this could be a soulmates book. The next one I have is Confessions by Kanae Minato. This is a book about revenge. It says her pupils murdered her daughter. Now she will have her revenge. So it's about this woman who is a middle school teacher, and her students killed her daughter or were responsible for her daughter's death. I believe it's told all through one last lecture that she's giving her students. It says she tells a story that upends everything her students have ever thought they knew about two of their peers and sets in motion a maniacal plot for revenge. I've heard amazing things about this, so I'm really excited. I love revenge stories, and this one sounds like it could be really unique. The next book that I have is A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. This book was almost like 95% a cover buy. I'm obsessed with this cover. It is so beautiful, but it's also about cannibals, which like, Yes. I also have to read you guys a really funny Goodreads review, and if this doesn't sell you on the book, I don't think anything will. We as a society should normalize MILF cannibals. What? I don't believe in the glorification of murder. I do believe in the empowerment of women. I support women's rights, but more importantly, I support women's wrongs. Listen, all the reviews piqued my interest, so I'm excited to see what these MILF cannibals are all about. And then the last book that I have here is My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. This is a murder mystery romance that sounds so good. It's about this girl who is in Cape Cod, and one day a dead body appears in her house, and then a bounty hunter comes into town to try to catch the killer. The main character is also obsessed with true crime podcasts, so she thinks that she can solve the case. And I think that it's Grumpy Sunshine. He's a bounty hunter. She's an elementary school teacher. They reluctantly have to team up to catch this killer. It sounds so cute and fun. And I love the idea of like a murder mystery rom-com. So those were all of the books that I've gotten recently. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!